This is the first of a 4-part series of videos Victory and I are going to be doing on how to bring your service animal to Epcot. This is going to cover the do's and don'ts, the ins and outs, and the tips and techniques of how to make your stay there more enjoyable. Hi, I'm Greg and this is my service dog Victory. Together we're going to show you the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, tips and techniques of bringing your service animal to some of Florida's most popular tourist destinations. So if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, click on the little light bulb. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment sections below and I'll try to answer your questions. Alright, and here we are, we're entering Epcot. I have a season pass, so it's easy for me. My parking is always free. Good morning, how are you?
How are you, sir? Welcome. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. We'll see you later. Okay, so now we're entering into the parking area that's here. We are going to be in the far end, which is truly where I wanted to go to show the tips and techniques on how to get inside of Epcot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it around and see if we can see these guys. If you see, there's a whole staff that's here lining everybody up to park. That guy's been here forever. Nice to see you, man. They're all happy. It's 70 degrees and everybody's wearing their jackets because it is Florida, and for us 70 degrees is cold. All right, here we go. He's waving at us, telling us hello. Now when you park, the best way to do it is park and wait. Just have your patience. We're good. Okay, and Victory is still asleep. We're getting ready to wake him up. Here we are. We're parked and we are ready. I'm going to have to wake Victory up. Let's see if I can find him. See, you can see the Victory's incredibly excited. Hey, Victory. Victory, are you ready to go bye-bye? Hey, Victory, do you want to go to the park? I guess not. Here he comes. Are you ready to go? Do you want to go to Epcot? Are you awake now? Huh, buddy? Are you awake? Yes. Mwah. Good boy. Victory and I are now in the very back corner of the parking lot, and you can't get any farther away from the front entrance as you can where we are right now. Now you have two options. You can take the tram or you can walk. Even at the farthest back corner from the parking lot, you're less than a quarter of a mile away. I usually use that as a time for me and Victory to kind of walk there. He can get used to the sights and sounds. He can get a little bit of exercise in, stretch his legs after he's been in the car for the last 45 minutes or so. But if you are going to use a service animal and get into the park using the tram, we're going to show you what that looks like. Just walk to the very end of where you park. And then, by the way, here's a little tip. Take your camera out and shoot a picture of the lane that you parked in. Like here we are in Create 52, and I'll take a quick shot of that. Each one of the trams has the ability to load your service animal into it. If you have a disability parking sticker, you will be directed all the way towards the very front. But just because it's not that far away, Victory and I are going to go ahead and just walk. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this thing. I think you may enjoy this. Load. Good load. Good boy. Good load. Okay. Now Victory down.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving.
Seated until the tram comes in. Both of you down.
Good boy. And then here we go. We're going to the park entrance. You have to go through the security checkpoint. Now, one of the tricks with the security checkpoint, make sure everything is exposed and open when you bring your bags in. Kind of helps with the process that's here. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera just for security purposes. So I don't want to show their security procedures, and also I can get everything prepped and ready to make it easier to go. Just as a tip, when you enter into the park and you're going through security, make sure if you're trying to film your your animal coming through. Security is a no video zone. Okay, Victory and I have entered into the park, and what we're doing is we're going to head to our first stopping point, and it's also our first relief area. So when you come in, just go to the left, and behind mouse gear there is a relief area there for your service animals. There's mouse gear. So when you head towards test track and towards mission space, underneath mouse gear here, you're going to see up on your right hand side is going to be the first relief area. So there is a small relief area, and you can see Victory's actually picked it up already by the smell. One of the rules with Disney is that your service animals can't be within 4 feet of what they call a wet area. Now, a lot of you may not know what a wet area is. During the summertime, this area that's right here that you see that Victory's actually staring at has fountains in it that the children play in. Now, it's against Disney policy to have a service animal within 4 feet. And if you look at where they have this designed down here on the ground, there is a line that goes all the way around. So it's safe to keep your service animal outside of the line that's here and just keep them at least 4 feet away from the wet area. I know that just when it's hot outside, the animals want to get out there and get played and cool off, especially Victory, who loves the water, but it's not allowed by Disney rules. Okay, so we're just at the first relief area. It's right outside of test track. Now I want to go over some of the policies and procedures and actually planning that may make it a little bit easier for you guys to navigate Epcot with your service animal. Bring a lot of treats, obviously. Inside of Epcot, there's two different sections. There's Future World and there's the World Showcase. Future World opens up at 9 o'clock and the World Showcase opens up at 11. Now, one of the things that you can do to avoid some of the crowds is to go ahead and start heading towards the other side of the park. We're going to head over to Italy to start with, and we're going to work our way around the World Showcase. Generally, most people will come here and spend all of their time at Future World until 11:30 or 12, and then they'd migrate around the world to see the pavilions that are out there. The first three countries that are inside of Epcot are Mexico, China, and Norway. These are the three most popular rides that they have inside of the World Showcase. So the general population will stop at each one of these countries, and it gives you a chance to get ahead of the crowds to enjoy it a little bit more than just standing in line. Alright, so you can see behind me, and I'll swing in front of me, the amount of crowds and how they start to congregate in the first three countries. And it provides a lot of distraction for your service animal once you come in. One of the reasons why we start here in Italy, well, there's two. One, you're now ahead of all of the crowd. We've bypassed the two major popular attractions that are there, which is Norway's Frozen and Mexico with the tequila bar. And we start in Italy. Now here's a Disney pro tip, I guess what you would call it. Here in Italy, there is actually a wine tasting card that you can buy. If you go to the little wine cellar that's there as you enter into the country, you can buy this card for $29, I believe is what it is, but it gives you 2 glasses of wine in Italy, in Germany, and in France. So my wife always buys the wine card, gets 2 glasses of wine here in Italy, and then we start working our way around. Now, one of the other reasons why you can start here is because of the heat that's in Florida. If you get here by 11 o'clock and you start working your way clockwise around the lake, which will put you through Morocco, America, France, England, and Canada, it puts you back into Future World. And Future World is one of the best places to find those little alcoves that are air conditioned, that are quiet, that Victor's looking it up. piece of paper down there that allow you to kind of sit with your service animal, and also puts you there in the hottest part of the day when it's summertime here in Florida. So you can go from attraction to attraction and spot to spot without having to worry about overheating your animal. We're also going to talk about cooling vests. Now, cooling vests here in Florida work, but they don't work as well as you might be accustomed to if you're from the Midwest or from up north. During the summertime, when it's the hottest, obviously, the humidity here may hit 90%, and a cooling vest works off of evaporation. If it's that high in humidity, it really doesn't evaporate as quick, so the cooling vests are not quite as effective here in Florida as they are anywhere else in the United States. So the recommendation here is that you plan your trip through Epcot from point to point, and at each one of the spots, which we'll get into in another video, there's going to be a spot where you can stop in, get into the air conditioner, get a break, get a drink of water, and kind of kick back away from the crowd to let you and your service animal kind of relax and recover. So we're here in Italy now, and our next step is we're going to go over to Morocco, and we're going to see what we can see over there. All right, on our way around the World Showcase, one of the other stops that you can do to give your animal a chance to cool off, relax, and slow down here in America is the American Adventure, which you see over my shoulder. Inside, it's air conditioned. It's an incredible presentation that they do here. It goes through the history of the United States and a celebration of our country. I'm not going to show it to you every time. I'm going to leave that up to the Imagineers. But it's a great place for you to take a break, have you and your furry partner have a chance to kick back and relax. Let's go take a look. I know this isn't part of our video that we're shooting, but I've got to get a shot with Santa. Authentic Japanese water bowl.
I got him?
No, he's working right now. Okay, so if you're coming around the World Showcase and you're by Japan, there's a spot where you can kick back and relax with your service animal. It's off the beaten path as you're heading towards Morocco on the left-hand side. It's underneath the trees. It's relaxing. Not a lot of people stop in, so they're going to be outside and away from all the craziness that's Epcot. So if you are in Morocco and your service animal needs a break or relief, one of the places you can go to is just to the right of it, and you will find a grassy area. Going into the pavilions into France, it gets a little crowded as you do the entrance, but there's a small little street off to the left-hand side, which is a great place to relax and actually have your service animal kind of take a break. And it's right up here on the left-hand side. So here we go. This is kind of the hidden little street of France, and this is where you can find your ice cream and a place to take a little bit of break. And me and Victory are gonna stop and kick back and relax and have a little bit of a treat. if you're coming from France to England and you're coming across the bridge on the right hand side and you see that there's an open spot that's down here, stop in. It's a great place for you and your furry friend to kind of kick back, relax for a minute, and just kind of avoid all of this for just a little bit, because I'm telling you, once going through all the hectic stuff sometimes, all they want to do is just kick back and watch the seagulls. They also need a break too while they're working. So. Alright, after our break from France, headed to England. Let's go, buddy.
I wondered what it was, and then I realized it.
You hear this?
As you can tell by the video, Victory and I had a great time. The next video is going to cover Future World and how to use the tips and techniques and the resources that are there to make your stay more enjoyable. So if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button below and also the little light bulb, and that'll let you know when the next video gets released. Until then, guys, enjoy your stay.